Hey, good morning, Road Runners. I want to welcome everybody to Tuesday, August the 11th. Welcome to your first CCR block. Those of y'all who've not had a chance to meet me yet, my name is Dr. Spees, and I'm entering my third year as principal at Austin East High School. I'm very excited to spend a little time with you guys today, talking about a handful of topics. We're going to talk about three topics today. First of all is a culture of intentionality. Second of all is our new AE schedule. And third is our college and career readiness indicators and benchmarks and what all that means for you guys as a student. All right, first of all, culture of intentionality. You could say this is my theme for the year. This is my slogan for the year. This is the thing I'm working towards, is being intentional about my work as a principal and how I lead our school, and then the work that we're having our staff do with intentionality, providing great instruction and great supports for you guys, but also the culture of intentionality that you guys will own as students as you start to take more ownership and awareness of your education and how you can unlock your future potentials there. I'm going to share two quotes with you guys. The first quote is by a guy named James Clear. He wrote a book called Atomic Habits, and I highly encourage you guys, if you're into self-improvement and getting better and learning about ways to grow yourself, that's a great book to read. I listen to it on Audible. So if you can read it or you can listen to it on Audible, it doesn't matter, whichever way, but it's some really good information. This is one of my favorite quotes. I have it written in my office. It says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." And what that means is I have a goal of I want to do something great. I want to have the best educational outcomes our school can have. But if I don't have a system to help produce those, I'm going to fall short of our goal. An example I like to use is I would love to lose 10 pounds. I have a goal to lose 10 pounds, but I don't have a system to track what I eat and track how I exercise. I'm probably not going to lose 10 pounds. So it's important, if you have a goal, is that you have some type of system to help carry you forward towards that goal. Second quote is also a James Clear quote. It says, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become." We can be any kind of people we want to be. We can be healthy people. We can be unhealthy people. We can be hard workers. We can be lazy folks. We can be outgoing or we can be introverted. And there's nothing wrong with being any one of those things, but we have to decide what kind of person we want to become. And then the actions we take is a vote for going to be that kind of person. So if I want to be a healthy person, I've got to make decisions and take actions that a healthy person will do. For example, if I want to be healthy, I need to choose. I used to take action to go work out on a regular basis. That's a vote for making me become a healthy person. If I want to be an outgoing person, I have to take action or make a vote of being friendly and speaking to people if I want to be an outgoing person. If I want to be a reflective person who thinks about my actions and how it affects myself and others, I have to take action to be intentional about being reflective, so I can be a reflective person. Okay, so we have the ability to be anything we want, but we have to take small actions on a daily basis to vote for the kind of person we want to become. We don't just become these things overnight. Down there at the bottom it says, "Culture is formed by the choices people repeatedly make." We, as a school family, we need to make positive choices so we have a positive culture and be intentional about the decisions we're making so we get the outcomes that it is that we want to make. So what does it look like to have a culture of intentionality at Austin East? And so this is something I've challenged our staff to do. In the classroom, we want to be intentional about 5 different things. And every day, every block, every lesson, you ought to be experiencing these 5 different things. Our teachers are instructing with our Austin East High School instructional expectations. This is about a 3-page document that lays out what we want teachers to do, how we want them to organize their lessons, how we want them to be reflective in their planning, how we want them to assess, how we want them to incorporate student discourse, how we want them to incorporate routines, how we want to incorporate classroom culture, classroom management, all the things that go on during that classroom setting. We've laid out how we want people to do those. So you ought to see that on the regular. We've given folks a daily planning tool. We've said we want certain things in every lesson. We want a bell ringer. We want a learning objective or a learning target. We want a exit ticket. We want to have student discourse. We want to have questioning. We want to have an essential question. And so you should hear your teachers talking about those things in each lesson. We use a weekly planning tools that teachers are using to plan out their weeks to help us stay organized as we move to our new AE schedule. Teachers are used to teaching semester blocks. Now we're on rotating blocks, and it's a whole different organizational method. So we want folks to use this planning tool to help stay organized. We want them to have a daily student learning guides. This lays out for you as a student. You ought to be able to see what it is your teacher wants you to learn, how they're going to use discourse in the class, and the agenda that the class is going through. The teacher ought to cover with you at the beginning of class. They may use it on their whiteboard the whole way through. They may incorporate it to their PowerPoints. They may incorporate it on their handouts. But they ought to revisit the learning target throughout the lesson. And then we have a coaching model where every one of our educators gets coached by another educator through a coaching model. I have a coach that I have who works with me to help me be the best principal I can be, and all of our teachers get coached as well. I love to use the analogy that LeBron James, a longtime best player in the NBA, not of all time, but he was the best player in the NBA for a long time, not the best of all time. That's Jordan. We all know that. Anyways, but he's got a personal trainer who pushes him every day to make healthy choices, to work on his cardio, to get his shot down, all the things that help grow him. So if LeBron James needs a coach, heck, so do I. So we all have coaches that we lean on to help make us better. So what does it look like for an Austin East student to have intentionality? And we want you guys to be intentional about a lot of different things. But one of the things we want to be most intentional about is our 2800 Made School Foundations. We rolled these out last year. We're going to continue to lean on these. We know when you graduate from Austin East High School, you are 2800 made, and we defined that to say M stands for mindful, A stands for accountable, D stands for determined, and E stands for engaged. And under each of those, there's some subcategories, and you see them on the screen there. But I just want to touch on these briefly. We'll dive more into these as the year goes on, but we want to be mindful, accountable, determined, and engaged about a lot of things, but especially about our academics. Okay, and we're going to use this CCR block time every Monday to be mindful, accountable, determined, and engaged about our academics. We're going to go through a process where to be mindful, you're going to reflect on your previous goals. Each week you're going to set a goal. The following week you're going to reflect upon that goal. You're going to be accountable. That means on Mondays, you're going to go through a process. You're going to be knowledgeable about your current progress. You're going to know what your grade is in every class. And then D, you're going to be determined. You're going to set a new goal for that week, how you can improve. What actions can you take? What votes can you make to make you a great student, to be an organized student, to be a knowledgeable student? And then E stands for engage. You're going to create and follow an action plan during the course of that week to use during your CCR block time to meet that goal. So we're going to be real intentional as students about how we're tracking our classes and how we are tracking our missing assignments and how we can stay ahead and use our CCR block time to stay organized. One of the challenges of our new schedule is around student organization. That's probably one of the biggest things. So we're going to be very intentional about putting in a system that helps you guys track your assignments and keep up with everything and stay on top of things so you can take votes to being a strong academic student. And here's the handout that we're going to work through each Monday. You're going to learn more about this next Monday when we do this for the first time. But you see there at the top left hand, there's a spot to be mindful, a spot to be accountable, a spot to be determined, and a spot to stay engaged. And then your CCR teacher is going to review that with you on each Monday. Just want to throw that out there for you that our goal for the CCR block time is to really help you guys to stay organized with your classes. You're going to have some win time, whatever I need to make up assignments or do your homework or stay on top of things. But we got to be productive with our time here together. We're just not doing this to do it. We're trying to be intentional about setting you guys up for success going into the new schedule there. Speaking of the new schedule, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about why we're doing this. I don't think anyone's really surprised by it by this point, but the reason why we're doing it, you may not know. So I want to share that with you guys. Biggest reason we're changing with our schedule, We are adding a new program to our school known as the International Baccalaureate Program, and specifically the Middle Years Program. The Middle Years Program is it's known as MYP, International Baccalaureate, it's known as IB. We're implementing IB and MYP as part of a feeder pattern adoption. What that means is the schools in our feeder pattern, Sarah Green, Vine, and Austin East, are all moving to this world-recognized framework for advanced academic learning, aimed to give our students a global perspective through critical thinking, inquiry-based approaches and learning, and communication skills that will enable them to be ready for life after high school. MYP is aimed at all of our students. One of the requirements of being in an MYP school, and you probably heard some about this stuff last spring, both at Vine and at Austin East. If you're coming to us from Holston, this may be new information to you. We started working on some of these things. One of the requirements here is that we have students with year-long instruction rather than semester. Okay, if you think about the semester classes you've taken in the past, you may have English in the fall of, say, your sophomore year, and then take English again, not to the spring of your junior year. You may have a whole 12 months when you don't have English, a whole 12 months when you don't have math. And so we know when we don't use our skills and our knowledge, we lose our skills and our knowledge, and that puts us behind, and we got to play catch up. One of the biggest advantages to the year-long schedule we're moving to is that you reduce the learning loss. We spend less time repeating information and relearning. We can just jump right in there. So the nuts and bolts of it, our school calendar hasn't changed. We still have 180 days. 90 of those days roughly are A days. 90 of those days are roughly our E days, and they rotate every day. So today is an A day. Tomorrow will be an E day. Thursday will be an A day. Friday will be an E day. And we'll just keep bouncing back and forth like that every other day all year long. And here's what it looks like on a calendar. Yesterday was the first day of school, August the 10th. It's marked yellow right here. That's because we had a strange schedule. But starting tomorrow, we'll be on A days. Our A days are colored blue, just like the blue A is in our logo. And E days are colored red on the calendar, just like our E is red in our logo. So we'll go tomorrow. We've had A1, now we're in CCR. We're going to go to A2 next, A3, A4. Come Wednesday, we'll do E1, E2, E3, E4. There's a lot of confusion around if it's 1A or A1. We do letter first, then number. We'll all get used to it. It's new to us. But we'll adjust to that as we go. You can see all year long, we just keep going back and forth, AE, 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 AE. Look down there on September the 7th. That's Monday, Labor Day. We don't have school that day. So on the Friday the 4th was an A day. So Tuesday the 8th will be an E day. And we just pick up there, and we go through that all semester long. Now instead of taking 4 classes, you take 8 classes at the same time. 4 on A days, 4 on E days, and they run all year long. Final grades are there in May. That's different. That is definitely different. Grading periods don't change. We still have to send out grades every 4.5 weeks. But what is different, you used to get final grades in December and May. Now you only get final grades in May. Okay? That means the work you're doing now is not final till May. Okay? We're going to put some stop gaps along the way throughout the semester to keep you from being trying to do makeup work so far in. We'll talk more about that later, but your grades are running until May. At Christmas break, we will have midterms. These will not be an exam. They're just a regular test to wrap up that unit of learning your teachers have you doing. Our state EOCs, in the past, we've had a state testing window in November, as well as one in April and May. This year, we will only have one in April and May. We will not have state testing in the fall. That is a big, big deal. So now we have all year long to get ready for our state EOCs. Our AP tests are still in May. You see the AP courses we have this year down there. That doesn't change. And then we have final exams held in May. There's 15% of your grade there. Some of the advantage of the AE schedule, obviously, is the continuous learning. No semesters off, so we can have less time spent in review. We can go deeper. We have more rigor because we have more instructional days because we don't have a state testing window in the fall. We gain 14 instructional days that we can use to get ourselves ready for our assessments and get us ready for learning so we can go deeper there. Because we don't have to start over in January with new teachers, you already know who your teachers are. You know the routines. You know the relationships. You have a stronger sense of belonging and identity because you don't have to start all that over all year long. Now, the flip side of that is if you end up with a teacher that the two of y'all don't always connect well, you can't just start new. You got to work on that relationship. So we got to dig in and be intentional about how we can build some bridges where we have people who may not see eye to eye. So that's something we got to work through. Probably the biggest disadvantage for students is they're having to manage 8 classes at a time instead of just focusing on 4. They're having to manage all 8. So that's an opportunity for us, and we're going to use our CCR block time to work on staying organized there. It is harder if you fail a class to catch back up. It is very important that you pass your classes the first time because you can't take, if you fail English 1 your freshman year, you can't take English 1 in the fall of your sophomore year and English 2 in the spring of your sophomore year. You're going to have to double up and take 2 English classes at the same time or 2 math classes at the same time. So it's very important you guys stay on track and be sure you get your credits the first time around. So that's a little nutshell about the rotating block, why we're doing it. It'll be confusing for a little bit, but once we adjust to it, by Labor Day, the end of August, it'll just be the way we do business here. And I promise you, the students, you guys will catch on much faster than the adults. But we've got to be intentional about how we prepare for that. We will have a sign by the bus doors and a sign by the front door as well that says that whether it's an A day or an E day when you walk in the building, so that you guys, it's a reminder what day it's going to be when as soon as you walk in the building there. All right, next topic, and I think this is actually our last topic, is college and career readiness. You may have heard us talk in the past about being a ready graduate. That being ready graduate was an indicator of readiness for life after high school. It had some certain criteria you had to meet. The state of Tennessee, the Department of Education, has changed that indicator slightly to now we're looking at college and career readiness. Our goal is for all of our kids to be college and career ready, but it's going to take us some time to get there as we build our systems to make sure. Our goal is to be everyone to be college and career ready, but right now we don't have a good system for that, so we're building a system to help close that gap to get all of our kids there. College and career readiness is also abbreviated as CCR. So that's why we call this time our CCR block, because we're being intentional about how we're using this time to get us ready to meet our college and career readiness benchmarks. Okay, achieving CCR status, why it's important to you guys. It means when you graduate, you'll have a meaningful diploma. That means students are ready to enroll, enlist, or employ in a high-wage career and have a plan on how to do so. Okay? Just graduating high school and having a diploma is not going to earn you a high-wage career. My guess is at some point in the near future, you want to move out of your mama's house or whoever you live with and earn enough money to live on your own. It's the most empowering feeling in the world when you have your own place, you pay your own rent, you buy your own house, and you have that level of freedom. But you can't do that unless you have a high-wage career. Okay, so graduating from high school is a step and it's good, but we're trying to level up there and make sure we have a CCR status tagged to that diploma so that you are ready to enroll in the military, enroll in college, enlist in the military, or be employed in a high-wage career. Just graduating high school and earning a low wage is not going to get you out on your own. Being employed in a high-wage career and have a plan on how to do that will get you where you want to go. There's 4 ways to meet CCR criteria. The first one is a 21 or higher on the ACT. The second one is the EARN and EPSO. The third one is earning a 31 or higher on the ASVAB. And the fourth is earning a Tier 3 industry credential. So let's dive into each one of those. The ACT. Now you take the ACT in school twice. You take it your spring of your junior year and fall of your senior year. You must take the ACT to graduate. There's no minimum score to graduate. But if you earn 21 or higher on the ACT, you do two things. One is you earn college for cash. That hits the Tennessee Promise Lottery scholarships, and unlocks all kinds of money there for you guys with our state institutions. It also earns you CCR status. Okay. We don't have a ton of kids hit this benchmark yet. A lot of kids want to start practicing for the ACT late in their senior year. Guys, you got to start getting good at ACT early in your high school career by learning core content at a deep level. Doing all those things with intentionality your teachers are asking you guys to do in the class. That's how you build your skill set to get ready for the ACT. We're going to start using CCR blocks on Thursdays to do ACT prep with 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Okay, again, CCR block is time we're using intentionally to get us ready for CCR credentialing, CCR benchmarks, and ACT prep is one of those. We're going to start doing that here in a couple of weeks on Thursdays for 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Second way to be CCR credentialed is to earn an EPSO. This stands for Early Post-Secondary Opportunity. Okay, this is basically college credit you earn while in high school, and that's open to our juniors and our seniors both there. So what this may look like in the past, if you took an AP class, you earned it, that counted as an EPSO, and you had to have 4. Instead of taking the class, that's not good enough. You have to pass the test or pass the dual enrollment class. You have to score a 3 or higher on an advanced placement test to earn CCR, or you have to earn a dual enrollment credit, either typically through Pellissippi State or Roane State. Pellissippi State's our biggest dual enrollment partner. We did have some kids earn dual enrollment credits through Roane State in the medical terminology class this summer. So shout out to those folks in our health science pathways. You take a dual enrollment class, you pass the class, CCR certified right there. The third way is through local dual credit, and you can get that through Pellissippi State. We had some kids get this last year with entrepreneurship. We had some kids also earn it through AV Productions 3 last year. All the kids who worked on the Austin East documentary, those kids earned local dual credit through Pellissippi State. They had CCR status. We can earn those through digital art and design this year, as well as entrepreneurship. And your digital art teacher and entrepreneurship teacher will help you understand more about how you do those things. So that's the EPSO. The third way is to earn a 31 or higher on the ASVAB. ASVAB is an aptitude test. It's a career exploration test. It's used for a lot of different reasons. We typically only, in the past, have used this for kids who want to go into the military, and the military does use it as a kind of as a placement test for different jobs in the military. But it is much more than just a military test. The ASVAB is an assessment good for every kid, and we're going to start giving it to every one of our kids. In the past, we've only done it selectively. Now we're going to be much more intentional about giving all of our kids an opportunity to pass the ASVAB. We're going to start giving that routinely in the winter of the junior year. But this year we're going to do our juniors and our seniors. Since our seniors did not take it last year, we're going to get everybody caught up so that everybody has an opportunity to score that 31 or higher on the ASVAB. Some kids do better on the ASVAB than the ACT. Some kids do better on the ACT than on the ASVAB. But we're going to give both to all of our kids to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to earn that CCR status. And the fourth one is industry credentials. And you can start earning industry credentials as early as the sophomore year, and maybe the junior year, or maybe your senior year, depending on your CTE pathway. I think we can make so much ground up in our industry credentials. We started some of this last year. Some of these things have been going on for a long, long time. We've started cranking it up some last year, but this year we're going to be very, very intentional about making sure our teachers understand what our kids need to know about earning industry credentials, and you guys are aware of what it takes to earn an industry credential. And these are all tied to your CTE coursework. In the Academy of Health Science and STEM, there's about 6 different industry credentials you can earn. Principles of Engineering course, which is a sophomore course. You can earn the the Snap-on Precision Instrument credential by taking those assessments with Miss Jones in the Engineering 1 class, Principles of Engineering. Engineering Design 2 was actually our Year 3 class. Our seniors take that. You can earn the SolidWorks Associate. That is a computer software around computer animated drafting, 3D design. If you're going to go into engineering or architecture, anything like that, even like home decor and home design, that's an invaluable piece of software to learn how to use. That gets you a certification saying that you know how to use this, you're skilled in it, and you're ready to work in a high wage career that requires that. So those two industry credentials are available in engineering. Nursing education actually has 4 of these. Medical therapeutics, which is the junior course, can earn you a basic life support industry credential. And then nursing education, you have the ability to earn 3. We probably need to narrow that down a little bit. We've always been doing the Certified Nursing Assistant, the CNA course. We're probably going to also look at making sure everybody has an opportunity. If you can't get the CNA for whatever reason, can you get the patient care technician or can you get the feeding assistant technician? Again, we've been given CNA, but we've not been intentional about offering some of these other opportunities, so we want to do those things. EPS and Dr. Hilliard's Academy, we have a couple different options as well. Our Cosmo 3 kids can earn their hair braider industry credential, and we had probably about 8 kids earn that last year. Culinary Arts 2, that's going to be a junior level class. The Serve Safe Food Handler credential. You know, Chef Ellis is in his 2nd year now, so he's ready to jump in and make sure we're aligning his instruction and his activities to make sure our kids are getting this Serve Safe Food Handler in year 2. And then in year 3 is the Serve Safe Manager, so looking at how being a kitchen manager. And in time, as we grow out digital art and design to the 3rd class, you can earn the Adobe Certified Professional in the either Photoshop or Illustrator. That's down the line because we can't get that because we just started the Digital Art Design 1 this year, but we can get some local dual credit opportunities there. So every one of our kids that go through a pathway, which is, I would say 95% of our kids are in a pathway. Every one of those kids can get CCR certification through their industry credentials. So we just got to be intentional about making sure we do those things. There are numbers we track. So these are mostly junior and senior level opportunities. We do have a sophomore one with the precision instruments, but there are leading indicators of looking at our CCR. All our freshmen take U Science. Our goal as a school is to have 95% of our freshmen take U Science. We were not at that goal last year, so our freshman academy, led by Ms. Foster, and our academy coach, Ms. Simmerly, is going to be really intentional about making sure all of our freshmen take the U Science and we hit that 95% goal. We want to make sure all of our kids have a high school and beyond plan meeting with their guidance counselors. That's for every grade level. We want every one of our kids to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with the counselor about what their plan is in high school. And then after high school, going back to, we said every kid has a plan to earn a high wage, to be in a high wage career, whether to enlist, employ, or enroll. So that's part of that plan there. That goes for our sophomores, our juniors, and of course our seniors there. And guaranteed experiences. We want 85% of our students to go on those guaranteed experiences. Those are the post-secondary trips, the workplace experiences, post-secondary trips, industry experiences, job shadows. And we're going to start rolling out our capstone experiences for our seniors kind of up here soon. So where are we now? Right now, as a school, for the class of 25, we had 14.4% of our kids hit that CCR certification number. Excuse me. We don't have this past year's data yet because it's still fresh. 14.4 is not where we want to go. And if you look at the 4 different ways, you have the ACT, the earn a post-secondary credit, score a 30 or higher on the ASVAB, and earn a Tier 3 industry certification. Traditionally, we've had our highest number in the post-secondary. That's our dual enrollment or local dual credit. We want to continue to increase that. We also want to we can move that 5.4% up on the fourth, the industry certification. We ought to be pushing that thing way, way higher as we get intentional about that. Our goal for where we want to be for the class of 2028, that's this year's juniors, we want at least 50% of our kids to hit that CCR status. I would love for us to be up in the 80s, but I think it's going to take time to build this system and this structure out so we can be successful with that. But I'm going to give us 2 years before we really set a goal. We're going to create a baseline this year. Now we're being intentional with the seniors. What can we do there? Obviously, we're going to be much higher than 14.4, but then the next year we're going to set a goal for 50% of our students to hit that there. Why does it matter if we hit that? One, it's part of our federal accountability with the federal government on how we do as a school. It's part of our school report card grade. Last year, our school report card grade was a C. I really want us to be an A or a B school. We're marching up that trajectory there. But the most important reason why CCR matters is not about the school. It's about the students and what it means to you as an individual. And again, it's a meaningful diploma. That means you're ready to enlist, enroll, or employ in a high-wage career and have a plan to do so. So you can move out on your own and have that level of independence that you deserve so you can have a rich, full life. That's what it's about, guys. I've taken up way too much of your time today. I appreciate your attention. I think we're off to a great school year, and this is going to be the best school year you guys ever have. And y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday.